book reviews. I try and be as concise as possible. Bear with me, it's my first video. This one I've read, one of the ones I've read recently, Dr. Louise Newson's Definitive Guide to Menopause and Perimenopause, something that affects obviously all women at some point. The thing that really stood out to me there, so it's a question of whether or not to go on HRT. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a healthcare professional. Check with your doctor, check with the pharmacy for interactions and all that sort of stuff. So advice I'm giving is, from what I've read, experiential, anecdotal. So yeah, just a disclaimer there, check with your doctor, or check with Mark. Mark knows everything. So the main thing with whether or not to go on HRT is there are different types of estrogen that occur in the body. Okay, so you've got estradiol, which the type of estrogen which occurs during your reproductive years. That's the type that you want in your HRT. You've got estrone, which your body produces after menopause. You've got estriol, which you produce during pregnancy. So HRT, you want estradiol, and the type that you want is body identical. So you can get 3 different options for HRT. You can get bioidentical, which is plant derived, synthetic, which is no good. I'll talk about that in a minute. That was all part of like the 90s health scare on HRT causing cancer and stuff. Then you've got body identical. So body identical HRT consists of 17 beta estradiol, micronized progesterone. Those are both body identical. And then you might want to include testosterone as well, which is an important female hormone. And that's the one that will improve your mood and energy levels. So during the early 90s, in 1993, the WHI, World Health Institute, did some clinical trials, and they then were using a type of estrogen derived from horse's urine and a synthetic type of progesterone, and those are the things that were then having some incidents of cancer causing. There's been no link in terms of cancer causation between body identical HRT, so the 17 beta estradiol and micronized progesterone, and cancer. So it's perfectly safe. But if you are on it, or if you're thinking about taking it, ask your doctor, is my HRT body identical? That's my main takeaway from the book. The other thing I read, the National Institute of Healthcare and Excellence, NICE, they were saying that antidepressants should not be offered or prescribed for low moods associated with menopause and perimenopause. So think about, if you are hopping on that, listen, if your hormones are out of whack, whether you're man or woman, you're fighting a losing battle. You don't want to be hopping on necessarily antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, because that's not going to help. That might mask the symptoms to an extent, but you need to get your hormone levels sorted, which you can do by HRT. Some foods are rich in estrogen, phytoestrogens, beans, seeds, berries, things like that. Obviously, exercise and diet are massive with anything. I read also recently that I think 1 in 5 people now in the UK, 1 in 5 adults, are on SSRIs, so selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which is a massive number, and a slightly higher percentage of that is women rather than men, probably because of symptoms associated with perimenopause and menopause. In terms of administration, transdermal I think is best, so patches, gels, sprays. I'm just looking at my notes, sorry. So you get direct absorption as opposed to a pill, which is metabolized hepatically, so it'll put some stress on the liver. The levels you want to be achieving in your body of estradiol, 17 beta estradiol, the body identical type, between 250 pmol per litre, anything up to 1,000. So if you're getting tested, ask for those levels. And if you can get your levels right, it takes time with hormones because your endocrine system, your hormonal system, is a much slower system than your nervous system, which works on sort of electrical current. So it's a slower process with hormones, so you've got to be patient, whether you're a woman or whether you're a bloke going on TRT. But the benefits of HRT, I think, from this book that I've read, are really good. Just ask the body identical type. Estrogen as a hormone is really important for managing cholesterol, osteoporosis, inflammation. insulin response and resistance, abdominal fat. I just read a study saying that HRT reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, improves the immune system, helps balance out your hunger system. So ghrelin and leptin, to the appetite and hunger hormones, it will help address that, so you won't be so hungry during that period of menopause. In terms of actions, so there's an app that is suggested in this book by Dr. Newson. It's called My Balance Menopause. This is the only menopause app which is certified by ORCHA, I don't know how you say it, ORCHA, which is the Organisation for Care and Health Apps. It's the only certified menopause app, My Balance Menopause, and that will help track you if you're on cycle in terms of regularity and severity. So I'd maybe hop on the app, have a look at that. Ask your doctor if you're on the body identical type of HRT, and think about whether that includes testosterone. Exercise and diet's really important. You can eat foods which are rich in phytoestrogens, and I think that's it. Other supplements were mentioned. Magnesium, D is really good. B for supporting the adrenal gland, the stress response. C is brilliant, just as an overall kind of an antioxidant. Vitamin C is brilliant. Calcium was mentioned as well. Iron, definitely, if you're cycling. Any questions you got, anything further? Mark said not to be too long, so yeah, I work Saturdays. Come and speak to me. I can sort of talk you through it, or Mark can if you have any further questions. So, right, I'm out.